The first step in resetting your mind is to pause and reflect. Often we become so caught up in our busy schedule that we fail to recognize when we're acting and thinking from our default network. You see, every morning we wake up and we do the same thing. We roll out of bed, we check emails, we use the restroom, we take a shower, we brush our teeth, we make coffee, we get dressed, we rush out of the house, commute to work. And at work, we kind of do the same thing. We visit our desk, we talk to the same people, we go through the same thing day in and day out. We wave goodbye, we come home, we make dinner, watch a little TV, off to bed, just to start it all over the next day. That routine we do day in and day out then becomes our life's routine. It becomes the program from which we operate from. 95% of who we are, by the time we hit age 35, 95% of who we are is ran from that program. So when we say, oh, I want to lose weight, or I want to be thin, or I want to start a business, or I want to leave my W-2, we're fighting against that program that we've been writing our entire life. It's kind of like, to make it visual, it's kind of like a scrawny little guy wrestling an Olympic wrestler, or you take a Honda Civic and you bring it to the drag strip and you try and drag race with the Honda Civic. It's just not going to work. You have a small chance of winning, but the odds are against you. So today, we change the odds. Today, we swap the odds, you and me together. We swap it by understanding what's going on inside of our head, and then we start using what's going on inside of our head to our advantage. We have a default mode. That default mode is the routines I was talking about. It's really when we're acting from autopilot. Harvard study says we spend almost 50% of our day in autopilot, and that's 50% of our waking day, not 50% of our 24-hour day. Then we have the direct mode. The direct mode is our conscious mind. Our conscious mind is our intentional mind. It's that thought, I wish I was more healthy. I wish I could start a business. I wish I could ask for a raise. Whatever it may be, whatever transformation you want. Do you realize that we have 60,000 thoughts a day? 80% of those thoughts are negative and 95% are repetitive. This is what we're fighting against. The good news is that we have that default mode. And that default mode repeats 95% of our thoughts. So we just have to learn how to slip in and plug in the proper thoughts. If we can plug in the proper thoughts, then we can start changing that default mode of how we think. Our mind goes to the negative. It's proven in study after study after study because we have a negative bias. The negative is our mind keeping us safe. It goes all the way back to caveman days. And in the caveman days, we used to have real life threats around every corner. So now when we do something out of the routine, our subconscious goes off. Whoa, this isn't going to work. We're doing something unknown. We're going to get hurt. When that happens, when you start going down that negative thought spiral, I want you to ask yourself a couple of questions. Before we get to those questions, I want you to first, there's it's three questions and one process. So it's a 4-step process. 4-step process I want you to take. The first is to slow down. I'm really happy. Give yourself a high five. You realize that you're becoming in this negative thought pattern. You realize that you're going back to what you said you didn't want to do anymore, right? I want to lose weight, so I want to eat healthy, and I want to go to the gym. But then you find yourself laying on the couch watching Netflix. When you find yourself laying on the couch watching Netflix, that's you slowing down. You realize that popped into your head, I don't belong here. I should go for a walk. You became aware of it. That's amazing. You have to slow down the process. You slow down the process through meditation, and you slow down the process through Shishikenko. Those are the two most powerful ways of slowing down the mind and bringing a little calmness to the scenario. Meditation. Video is going to pop up right here. I did a whole thing on meditation. You're probably sitting there right now saying, meditation's not for me. I can't sit still that long. Bingo. You're the person it's for. You got to remember that meditation is like training a wild horse. If you went out into the wild west and you captured yourself a horse, a bucking bronco, and you wanted to all of a sudden ride that horse, you wouldn't be able to do it. That horse would resist you. It's the same thing. Your subconscious is going to resist you taking this action. When you're sitting down and you sit down to meditate and then your mind races off, that's your subconscious saying, whoa, I don't like this. I don't like change. You have to lasso that and drag it in. Just like you would break a bucking horse, a bucking bronco, right? You have to slowly work on it, slowly gain its trust. Do small things to slip it past the goalie. So we're slowing down. Meditation's one of those ways. We're practicing Shishikenko. That's a Japanese system. In their rail system, they were having accidents. They said, we're going to come up with Shishikenko, point and call, and you literally point and call at things. You're interrupting the autopilot, the automaticity that's going on. They were having accidents because they were just acting in automaticity. They were just going through the routine. This is the pattern interrupt that we need. You need to do a pattern interrupt so that you can slowly take back control. Now, you became aware that you had this thought. I want you to ask yourself 3 questions, and this is how you're going to reset your mind. This is one of the techniques that I use. 3 questions. 1, what has this cost me in the past? So a lot of the negative thought process starts with I can't, I'm not, I won't, I'm not good enough. Who said that before? I'm not smart enough. Who said that before? The beauty is, you actually are. You're smart enough to do what you choose to do. You have the courage. Everybody has the courage. You might need the confidence, but the courage is there. It's deep down inside of you. You've done things before. Tap into that. So when I have the thought, I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough, or I did that before and it didn't work out. When I'm going down that spiral, I stop and I ask myself, what has this cost me in the past? In the past, I've taken this path, and I ended up where I am now. Like what has been the cost of that? In lost opportunities, relationships, experiences. What has this cost me in the past? The second question is, what is it costing me right now in the present? Because presently, when I'm having this thought, I'm not feeling very good about myself. That's a cost. And then lastly, I ask myself, if I don't transform my thought pattern from this thought, what is it going to cost me in the future? Because right now I'm living my future's past. Right this second, I'm living my future's past. So if I decide to continue down this same road, it's going to cost me something in the future. What is that? Journal this out. Slowly make incremental changes. Okay, it's going to cost me a lot in the future. So now, right now, when I'm having this thought, I'm going to choose to believe that I can. Two things I hear a lot is, I'm not old enough and I'm too old. I'm not old enough. Who's going to listen to me? Go out there and do. I'm not old enough gets transformed into, I have plenty of runway in front of me that I can make mistakes and still recover. I have plenty of time to learn and do. I'm too old? No. No, you're not. You have plenty of life experience. The other thing is that when you say you're too old or you're too young, I want you to go out there and I want you to find instances where people of your age are doing what you believe you can't. Colonel Sanders was 60-something when he founded Kentucky Fried Chicken. There are people, I always say, one of my limiting beliefs is, I'm not good at tech. I'm too old. I'm a Gen X. I can't do tech. That's one of mine. But then there's guys that are 10 years older than I am that are crushing tech. So, it doesn't make sense. If they can do it, I sure in hell can. And it's the same thing on the young side. I'm too young. I can't do that. 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds, they don't make any money. Yeah, they do. There's guys out there crushing it. There's guys buying real estate. There's guys starting businesses. Seek out those individuals. Find out what they're doing. It's absolutely possible. Guys, one of the videos I did back in the past was on air, 3 Steps to Winning. And that really is a great way of slowing things down, which is the first step in this process. I'm going to make that pop up right here so that you guys can click on it and go watch it and start building your skill set out. Around here, we believe in living up here in the numerator, not down in the denominator. Go out there today and be unstoppable and crush your day. I love spending time with you guys. Have a very blessed day.